right, welcome to Imagine Blue. We're here today to talk about the ideas that we have for skits. I'm OC.
I'm Chuku.
I'm Christine.
Scott.
Crystal.
All right.
Yeah.
So we came up with some ideas. We wanted to try to do something a little bit different on this channel and see what it would be like to maybe dip our toe into the waters of creating skits for the internet. See how that goes.
It's another meta episode, basically following along with what we talked about for the brainstorming one. So it's actually been almost a month since that episode, which is kind of crazy.
That is
Really?
crazy.
Yeah.
It was a month? That's how long?
It's been about 3 weeks, but
Oh,
but
wow.
like one more week and then it's a month. So
That's
Dang.
crazy.
that is crazy. But we have indeed come up with some skit ideas. We right now we can present them, each of
Yeah.
them. So Crystal, you said you guys wanted to go first, or
Since ours are like a lot like less formed.
Let me preface this. I have no skit idea.
She has
so
no
we-
skin in this
yeah,
game.
so Christine is like an unbiased like voter, I guess. We're
Yeah.
gonna vote we're gonna choose which one we think we should do first. Doesn't necessarily have to be the best one, although it probably will be
Oh.
in our opinions. But like also the easiest to do.
Well, OC, it was your prompt. Just to give context, can
Right.
you repeat what the prompt was?
So the prompt was basically you have an overzealous fan who's super excited about mundane news.
Yeah, that's it.
around. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty broad, so we can basically do whatever we want with it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I had a prompt which was it was what was it again? Like take something common and make fun of it, essentially. But then we did a coin flip, and then it was OC's that was chosen first. So we can perhaps use my prompt later on, but just to give some context.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, the way that I was thinking about it when I came up with that prompt was because it was during the time of D23, and there was a lot of anticipation about the news that was going to come out of D23. There was also a lot of disappointment about the news that eventually came out of D23. And so I think the idea of that was when I think of a comedic skit, I'm basing it off of influence from people who do off the cuff, like improv type stuff. And it's not necessarily scripted out, but it has that sort of improv aspect of saying what is funny in the moment. And so that was kind of what I was thinking about it. And so my idea was to have a set premise and then run from there for like a few seconds, like maybe 30 seconds, and see how it goes.
I'm actually thinking in the same vein as you. Like mine, I know you were like, oh, let's do like a minute long one. But like for what I have in mind, I'm like, this will probably be like 30 seconds. You do yours. Because I mean, it's your prompt. So I'm like curious to see like what direction like you are going to take yours. Because mine might be like the way you're describing it, like mine sounds really similar.
My idea was it would be from the perspective of a regular fan, and they're being bombarded or like annoyed by somebody who is like overly excited about it. And the idea would be like you have the announcer who's announcing something that is like boring, but like trying to like big it up, and you see the frustration, the regular fan's face, like this is nothing. And then you have the guy next to him who is like this overzealous fan, who is just going crazy over it. And then eventually the guy snaps and like, yo, this is nothing. And then it would have to be the end of it. Obviously it doesn't sound funny with explaining it, but the idea would be the comedy would come out in the improvisation.
Yeah, the performance, right?
The performance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking of something in the same vein. I don't know where your setting is at, but mine is like, I would think at the, expo, right? Unless, what were you thinking? Like, what is your, because that's what I want to know about yours. So this is what I have in mind for mine. But like, what is the setting for yours? That's what I want to know.
Expo. It could also just be like a regular, they're like watching
it on a laptop or something.
A laptop or a
Yeah.
phone.
I mean,
And there's just a person like.
I feel like we kind of have to do that unless we want to green
I
screen
don't know.
it.
No, have you guys seen like on TikTok, like the tech is there to just be like, oh, I'm gonna choose this image as the backdrop, and like they're just using like their phone camera, and it's getting just like their own like outline. I don't know if you've seen TikToks like that, but like
Yeah.
it's a very like low quality way to do it, but it is the trend on TikTok. Like people have done it, and like I've seen a lot of videos like that.
Well,
so like
I have a green screen and a blue screen. So
yeah, so like we could
perfect.
do it right, or we could do it like what
That's
what I have in mind, like mine would be like TikTok quality. Like I don't
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be
For sure.
mine is a very low production value take on this, and it's
Right.
very similar, but instead of like differing, like it could be like two of the same like kind of like super fan, but they're like at the expo, and like behind them, you know, the picture you'd use is like a picture of like an expo, right? So they're like a crowd at like Hall H or something like that, and they're like, yeah, like, oh, please welcome blah 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 to like the stage, and like we want to announce, and it's something like very like stuff like water's wet, and it's like, oh yeah cool,
Yeah.
or like the sky is blue, and they're like, yeah, all right. Like trying, like, you know, you're seeing like the, you know, the
slow realization.
or like them trying to rationalize like, yeah, I'm happy about this, like over the
Yeah.
face of like the two characters. It would still be like off the cuff, but like their motivations for me is like the two fans, or one or two or three, are like trying to be like,
They're trying to be
this
excited
is cool,
about it.
yeah, okay,
They're trying to
yeah."
convince themselves.
And that's
okay.
that's my take on it.
Okay.
And it would be like literally 20 seconds long.
yeah.
So your two is very similar, basically.
Yeah.
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 pretty much.
Same but different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yours is like in a home setting. Mine's at the expo.
Sure.
We are at D23, y'all.
All right, I can go next.
Oh, if you want me to go next, I'm fine.
No, we'll save the best for last.
I don't know if I'm best. I don't know if I'm best, but okay.
Okay, mine's is very specific. So, I titled it DC versus Marvel fans, two different worlds.
Ooh.
So it's like the first scene is of a Marvel fan receiving news that like, was it? Yeah. First scene is a Marvel fan receiving news that there's like 100 different things that's coming out, and then the Marvel fan is like, they lack the reaction. And then the next scene is a DC fan getting like super tidbit of news, and then like, oh, maybe something might come out, and then like the DC fans just acting all crazy, and then it just ends there. That's it.
Okay.
It's just like a comparison of Marvel and DC fans.
Yeah.
It's just interesting
Did
though,
you
because like,
hear? Batman is Batman?
yeah.
In this new Batman film, we will be using
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne as Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, it's been an interesting year for DC fans though, because I feel like half the news DC fans hear, it's like you have like cause to be apprehensive because there's a lot of interesting choices. So I'm not like necessarily as a DC fan like excited by all DC news now. I feel like we've been so burned.
Yeah.
But I do like the dichotomy between like the two characters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's the premise of it. I do have a slight script, but I can mention it after.
Oh, okay. Mine's. I feel like mine's might even be longer, which whatever. But the whole summary is like you have like, and it's funny because I actually picked the characters who I wanted to be. So you have like, so one of the zealous fan, whatever, right? Who would be OC in this case? He gets like an announcement that for whatever reason, like the movie theaters, they're now like you can watch movies in green, right? So he's all super excited and he's trying to tell Scott, but Scott's like, what's the point of that? So then what happens later on that
I guess
is
I'm a
like
good
he's
character for
trying to convince him, and then within the convincing, you know, Crystal comes in, she's like, oh, do you guys hear about the new movies in green? He's like, yeah, and then they like, and it kind of like, then Scott's just like, seriously? And then eventually they shame Scott into it. So then after what happens is they come out of the theaters, OC and Crystal, they're disappointed, they walk away. Scott comes in like, oh, thank God they left, and then he comes back into movie theaters. So that's what happens at the end. So basically, you become a fan, and they become defanded at the end.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That one is gonna be. We have to actually be. Well, I guess we can green screen. Can we green screen that?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
green screen a
I'm
theater.
telling you, the worse it looks, maybe the better.
It might
Yeah,
be.
I mean, my plan wasn't that you had to actually be in the theater, but that could work if we're in there. I was just thinking it would be like you just came out. Like, it's just like you guys were done. You're done with it. You're like, oh, man, this wasn't
Yo,
great.
actually, I'm thinking of like examples, like especially TikTok examples, and I think that style actually could. There's a style of the filming that they do on TikTok that could actually work really well
Mm-hmm.
with that.
Yeah. So,
especially in a group setting.
I'm sorry.
yeah. Yeah. So my only thing is that I feel like it's a little bit longer, but if we can shorten it down in some ways,
Mhm.
that's my only thing.
Okay.
Okay.
We can
Yeah.
do that.
Sorry, my stomach is like growling right now. I'm like hungry. Anyways,
Let's go get lunch after this.
yeah. When you say it's longer, are you saying like a minute, or are you saying
I feel
2
like
minutes?
it. I mean, if we can make it, I can see it maybe being like a minute 30 seconds or so. That's what I'm saying. Or if we can make it shorter than a minute, maybe
Okay.
if we
That's
can.
doable.
But that's what I mean by longer.
Okay, I mean, I'd assume mines would be 30 seconds to 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So that's why I felt bad when everyone's like 30 seconds. I was snapped. I was like, dang, I didn't have
Yeah.
like a longer version, but
I guess 'cause I'm used to like when I see like a comedic video, it's really short.
yeah,
so
that's fine.
I've just been
That's
primed
fine.
by TikTok, as it were.
That's the thing. I'm not really TikTok. Like I watch
Savvy.
TikToks, but I'm not that savvy with it. So I'm
Mhm.
just used to like, setup, payoff kind of a thing.
Mhm.
for mines, we only need 2 people. Anyone who can react like meh, and then another person that is very enthusiastic. It really, anyone.
I
can
feel like
try.
we could film all of these today.
Yeah, I think the DC Marvel one can be a separate one, and then the fandom one can
Mhm.
be its own one. It could kind of combine elements of what we've been talking
Yeah.
about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like separate?
Because the DC Marvel one is a specific, like it's targeted towards a specific group of people,
Right.
and it's a reflection of the fan bases of those people. Whereas, there is a general thing with just fandom in general.
Yeah, exactly.
And so my thing is like you could have those as 2 separate ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing on similar aspects, but they could be separate. I'm also hungry.
I heard it from here.
I remember that too. Oh my god. All our stocks are growling.
Oh man.
Okay, so let's vote.
Let's
Well,
vote on
yeah,
where we
we
want to
can-
eat.
Vote on what we want to eat. But we can vote on which skit we think we should do first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then basically form the plan to just make it happen, I guess.
Okay.
Are you guys still feeling like we can record this after this session? I feel like we can probably finish within 5 to 10 minutes, and then like just try to bust at least one of them out.
I think
Sure.
so.
Sure.
I think it's doable.
Yeah.
We'll use food as our incentive to get it done quick.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, how about this, Christine? Which one do you think we should do first?
If we're trying to bust it out really quick, probably OCs or crystals. Yours was
Oh, ours are on the table?
Me too. I thought they were. Like,
aren't they?
Yeah.
aren't they on the table?
Oh, sweet, yeah.
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 Yours was an overzealous fan
But
perspective
I'm
of
thinking
the.
that we could combine certain elements of these.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, let's just combine both
Because
of them.
So
like
we have
at
to
least with
brainstorm it
Chukus,
out. Yeah.
at least with Chukus, if we have a fan who's like super excited, trying to convince another fan who's like not that excited about something new, and then somebody else comes in, like that already is kind of like the beginning of the beginning of his is kind of like mine, where it's like you have this regular fan who's being annoyed by this super fan, and then so those elements are kind of already in that, and then you can have somebody else come in and
Right.
try to convince
So
them.
basically
And
what you're
maybe
saying
they-
is
go
Chuku's
to-
thing is like your thing, essentially.
kind of, or
And then
even
my
so
thing
maybe
is more
they
like
could,
your thing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
same, because with the convention, like they're literally at the convention.
Yeah.
And so
We can combine these elements.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
fine.
yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
All right, so
okay.
now it's 2 separate. Let me see which one I think would be easier
I know.
to do. Yours, you imagined it to be at a theater, right?
At the end, like they come out of the theater at the end. That was my imagination of it. But,
Do you think? Did you want it as a green screen?
I mean, it could be green screen.
How do you come out of a green screen though?
It's just
like,
weird, but
You gotta
I would just
no.
imagine, like, 'cause- yeah.
Oh
So I don't know.
no.
Well, no, yeah, because you look
Just
you,
the outside of the
yeah,
theater?
a picture of AMC, and then like you're
And
walking
then-
out.
Yeah, and then just be
You're
like,
in front of you're in
Okay.
front
Alright,
of
so
AMC.
I
we
guess
watched
that
it.
works. Yeah, I guess that works.
Yeah, so I guess we can do either. Just doesn't matter.
Can you guys rock, paper, scissors? I think it's both equally
I mean,
the same.
Yeah, rock paper scissors.
I don't know. Part of me feels like Scott one might be faster. I
Okay.
feel like mine might take a little while.
Oh, that's true, because you did say it'd be like a minute 30.
But then again, at the same time, it depends how we do it, because then we can maybe change it a little faster. I don't know.
I say we should probably go with Scott's then, because he does have a script prepared.
And I have a
Make
clear.
an
I have a,
executive decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
can I direct it?
We can co-direct it.
I don't mind acting in it.
So this script is very malleable. We can change it however we like. The red ones, I was like, okay, I don't know exactly what. I just made it real quick. So basically, scene 1 is like the announcer being like, oh, this just in, Marvel has announced 10 new television shows, 3 of which are starring a baboon, banana, and a broomstick. You're not going to want to miss these amazing new shows. So baboon, banana, and broomstick, we can change those. Those are interchangeable words. I just thought of that real quick. And then Marvel fan is like, the Marvel fan character is going to be like expressionless face, a banana. I guess I'll check it out. Or something like that. And then scene 2 would be, this just in, DC has announced that, I don't know any DC executive names, so I put DC as executive's name, was spotted having lunch with potential actor of Superman or Batman. Does this mean a new Superman movie is coming up, blah, blah, blah. And then DC fan would be like, yes, finally, let's go. That's just the simple script, but we can alter it.
Yeah, we can work with that, especially since it's like if the setting is still at like a convention or expo, especially like scene 2, it would have to, like, no, you're right. It should probably just stay as is, because I guess DC fans are like grasping for like crumbs. So yeah, that works. I'm into it. I think we could.
Yeah.
I think we could cut set to print. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, well, I feel like that was like really fast.
Right? That's the point.
I think now it's just like let's
That's
jump
like a
in.
10-second
Let's
scene,
just
to be
let's just
honest.
make it happen.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. One more if deliberation. If we want to make it shorter, instead of having like the character dialogue, again, because it's like the way I'm imagining it is the setting in the expo is like as someone is reading like this line, like as the quote, like word for word, like maybe cut this part of like dialogue out and we're just like, it's just their face and they're just like looking at their watch and just like, oh, okay. And like, oh, banana, okay. Like, you know.
Yeah, basically they express that they don't really care.
Yeah, but like it doesn't have to be like the whole line of dialogue.
Yeah.
And then the same thing is like as this like scene is getting played out, like we don't necessarily need to hear the dialogue. I think we can still like mouth this and like it's two fans, they're like shaking each other and it's like, but like the whole time is like it's just like this dialogue. And that would cut, I think, the video like really short if we're trying to go for like that short a video. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to like
Yeah, I mean, either way,
That does make sense too,
instead
yeah.
of like a line for line delivery?
yeah, it'll be 30 seconds to a minute either way, I feel.
Okay.
Because like these lines are not that long. It's just like,
yeah.
I guess I'll check it out. That's it, you know. Yeah, and I also think like giving people lines, as we are not professional actors, will help deliver the expression that, you know. And it'll give chances for us to actually practice lines.
We can improv it too.
We
We can improv it too to see like what works the best.
if it's so short, we can try both ways. I'm thinking for me, like I'm thinking whoever this character is, it would be physical acting.
Yeah.
And then whoever is announcing this, it's like less of a pressure on them to be like, this just in, DC is blah, blah, blah. And we can just have that be like the over recording.
Okay, how about we decide who wants to play what right now?
Who do you guys imagine?
So
I would want like,
we need 2 separate characters for the Marvel fan and the DC fan. And then we need a 3rd character probably for the announcer.
I'm still thinking.
So it's just mainly 3 people.
Well,
I'm
the last
thinking
one
it
you
could
said
be-
it would be between 2 people.
It would
could.
be like, it
like
could
yeah!
be.
Like
Yeah,
you're
it
grabbing
could
them.
be even like one person. Because I'm still thinking like TikTok brained, where
Yeah.
it's like you have the green screen, you're at a convention. Say it's like even just one person, and then it's like, oh, this is the Marvel fan. They're at the Marvel
Oh, like
panel.
one person acting all of that out.
It could be. It
Oh.
could be. The way that I'm thinking of it, like I said, off screen the announcement is happening and you see the person reaction the whole time as the announcement is going.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, Marvel fan, da-da-da is happening. And the whole time that this first line is going on, it's like the reaction and they're like, okay, like sure. And then like scene 2, it's like, oh, the DC fan now is at the DC panel and it's like, oh, like this person having lunch. They're like freaking out and like that's it, like scene. Like, but like, you know, but like the announcing doesn't necessarily have to be a face character, like it's happening off camera the way that I'm thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
And it's the camera is on,
Like it's
the
a narration.
fan. Not a narration, like it's happening in real time, like the announcement is happening, but it's
Yeah.
like the POV is not
Of the
like-
announcer.
no, yeah, it's on the
It's a
person
voiceover,
reacting.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
image is of the person reacting, and that's how I'm thinking of it. Again, that's a very short and sweet version of this, but it depends on if
Yeah.
we want to go a
I mean-
little. Are you thinking like YouTube length, like a little bit longer to put on our channel, or like?
I mean, it could be a short on you.
So that'll be.
Yeah.
So there'll be 2 reactions: the basic, or the Marvel fan who's
The
like
bored.
having a basic,
The bored,
yeah,
and
he's
then
bored.
the
and then
exuberant.
the DC fan, which I think would be funnier if there's 2 of them,
Mm-hmm.
because then they can.
Yeah, that'd be
They
funny.
They can. That's what I'm
They
saying.
can-
Like you shake each other. Like,
Yeah,
oh
they
my
can be
God,
like,
like throw in.
Okay.
lunch.
Yeah, maybe maybe it can be pairs. We can do 2 DC fans, 2 Marvel fans.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and like the Marvel fans just like, oh my God, like, I'm bored. Like
Someone please say fucking lunch. That would be hilarious.
I can just be the announcer then.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking, for me, it's funnier if like we don't even like hear the dialogue from like the people reacting and we're just seeing like pure physical humor.
Oh, just like facial expressions and
Yeah,
actions.
and then that way you can clearly hear like the announcement that's going on too, and that so you don't have to. I don't know. I think
mean,
it's cutting.
You could do both, right?
Yeah, they don't have
Because
to.
this is
talk.
like after the dialogue is after the announcement, so I don't think it's gonna be over. But yeah, I would like to try both ways.
Yeah.
They
Well, what
don't
were you
have to
saying?
talk, but I think like if they make noise, that could be funny. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
just like, you know.
Do the DC fans just punch
Yeah,
each
the
other?
DC fans make noise while the Marvel fans are just kind of not saying it.
We want the lunch line.
Yeah.
Lunch.
Okay, who wants to be a DC fan?
It doesn't matter. Well, I also don't mind announcing either.
I'll probably be a DC fan.
Okay. Okay, who wants to express zero emotion? And
think
who
I'm
wants to express
die.
a lot of emotion?
I mean, I'll do the Marvel fan. Express their
I think we're both good at being stoic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you two will be the DC,
DC
fan then.
fans.
All right. All right.
I'll be the announcer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have an announcing voice. I think that works.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, we have a plan. Let's record this
Let's
right
do
now.
it.
All right, this is
Okay.
gonna just be a very short
mean-
podcast episode,
Great.
which is totally fine. Check out our. Actually, you know what? I think we might just put the skit at the end of this thing, just for fun.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So you guys
perfect.
can check out the skit. Let's see
Oh,
how well we
man.
made it. But yeah,
Hey,
Thanks for
first
watching
attempt.
this.
First
th-
attempt.
Yeah,
It is
thanks for
what
watching
it
this
is.
really meta episode of us brainstorming our skit, and then let's do it.
Let's do it.
Aight.
This just in, Marvel has announced 10 new television shows, one of which is starring a brick and a banana. You're not going to want to miss these amazing new shows. This just in, DC has announced that Zack Snyder was spotted having lunch with Henry Cavill. Does this mean a new Superman movie is coming up?